Now, before I begin your reading, I need to show you to tell you at the beginning that if this does not resonate with you, it is not for you.
Hello Sagittarius, this is your reading for January 2019. Happy New Year. I'm sure you had a wonderful time being such a party animal that you are.
And
You
if this
probably
resonates with you,
absolutely
stay
killed
with me.
the dancing moves, the new shuffle, or whatever else. You're the star of the party. You know, you are incredibly big-hearted, and you made many people happy. I'm using the Ask and It Is Given cards by Esther and Jerry Hicks. It's incredibly fun to use, and it's the first time I've done this, so this is incredibly difficult at the beginning, but I'm getting the hang of it. By the time I've got your reading, I think I should be fine.
Oh, hello, Leo. This is your January 2019 reading. I'm using the Esther and Jerry Hicks Ask and It Is Given deck of cards. And I must tell you that this is not a tarot reading. This is simply a motivational or a manifestation of desires pep talk or a intuitive reading of cards as I have drawn them. I have shuffled them earlier and have picked 6 cards altogether, 5 and the general. Okay, so I have chosen the general for the theme for the entire reading. Okay, so the reason I'm using this card is that I'm nothing against tarot cards in any way, because it does need tarot readings need a specific kind of familiarity with the arcanas and the different numberings and so on. It is a discipline that you need years to be really good at it. So I'm so happy to have actually found a deck of cards like this that is non-denominational. So simply I've been very interested in manifesting desires with your thoughts, and it's really good that I have a deep wish to be able to share my learning in this manner. So the inner work that requires this. So Leo, without further ado, I'm going to start with your card. Your first card is a consistent formula gives me consistent results. This was the general card for and theme card for Virgo. And it's interesting how you and Virgo are quite almost very similar in this way, that you expect things to be the same. Always a very systematic way of working, and that you understand basic mathematics. You understand that successful experience of understanding the results of their applications, and that doing so is actually a formula for understanding your world is really important. And by using that formula, it makes the result consistent also. So it will yield consistent results. And this is your tendency to be this way. Not that it's a bad thing, it's also a good thing, because you need to be systematic when you want it to be logical. But in other ways, in other arenas of your life, you can't be systematic as this, because human beings are not often always logical. Yeah, we're very irrational, and we do things without even thinking about them yet. We do and say things that we regret later. So, but just because you use a formula that has worked for you throughout the years, it doesn't mean that it will work at all situations. If you apply this formula in all areas, you will come up with somebody who is overbearing, and you don't want to do that. So in the month of January, a light touch is required from our Leo friends. It's really important that you don't impose your systematic way of working to others, because they don't, obviously, unless they're another Leo. And Leos are like that. They get really They want to shout at the rooftops and they roar with anger if you don't do what they want. And they know that they can't understand this, that people don't understand that you need to work in this way. This is the way to do it for them, for our Leo friends. And they found out the best ways of operating, and they can't see any reasons why people will not follow what they found, because they know that you can depend on them. Why should you waste your time working in another way? So according to their point of view, I mean, any other ways is just a waste of time and just pretty much not really working. So this card is telling me to share with you that this way of consistently expecting the same results each time is not a bad thing entirely, but you can't keep applying this in all areas, least of all the social arena. The second card that you have is All That Is. Your cards for this month is all upright. The second card is All That Is benefiting from my experience. And this is a very Leo energy. It's a very Leo standpoint. You have a really good opinion about yourself. You know you are a good person, you are intelligent, that you are somebody who is incredibly, you are a leader. You know, you think of yourself as a leader. And no matter what has caused your unique point of view to come about, it has come about, you know, and this is, you're a force of nature. And anyone who doesn't like it, they can go to wherever they want to go, and they keep hiding underneath whatever rock they're hiding for this, wherever they come from or whatever they be. So you do exist, you know, you are so aware of this, you know. Your ego is very expansive. You like it perceiving, and you know what you know, and you like the way things to stay. You might like to do something different, but you know, but your own way. You want to do it your own way. You don't want any other people's way or any other way of operating. You've always operated in a certain way, and that's worked for you, and that is hence that should remain that way. And so the thing is, if you continue with the point of view, I mean, nothing will go wrong, you know, because you always expect, you know, expect the things that has always been. In some ways, uh, you expect this, but because you're a fire sign, you tend to sort of have many pet projects that come up, flare up, and then it's gone, you know, and then you're onto another thing. So you sort of like jump from one thing to another, but you're no less passionate each time you're doing something. So you're constantly always on different exciting avenues of research. Um, you are constantly, you know, investigating exciting things and exciting or anything that is out of the ordinary. You always want to posit your view, you know. So everybody know this. Everybody expects you to do this, and because you always have your presence being felt, nobody could um, overlook a Leo. You know, they're very authoritative. They're very warm, generous. They can be demanding, yeah, but that's because they don't want to compromise on their vision. You know, um, they have this attitude that they want to be bold. They don't want to be a doormat. It's the last thing they want is to be a doormat. So this card, it's all that is benefiting from my experience. So it's saying that, hey, you do it my way, because if you do it my way, you're gonna benefit. So I mean, in some ways, Leo is right. Leo is always doing this, you know, because that's their qualities. The qualities of a Leo is being adventurous and being a bold leader and being courageous, even though people say, oh, it's not going to work, Leo, you know, forget about it, you know, just give up, you know. give up while you're ahead. So no, but no, Leah's not gonna do that. Just gonna just forge ahead and constantly telling everyone, look, do it this way because it's gonna work. You know, I'm here. You know, I'm here. I'm gonna make it work. So that card really is telling you, yes, continue with that because people are going to tell you to give up, but they're just gonna be, you know, they from their point of view, it looks like it's really impossible. But in the month of January, often a lot of people are away, and in the workplace, things that are be quieting down and the problems are put aside. But you are known to be somebody who always sort of struck out something different, something uncharted. So, you know, just it's a good idea to strike a balance, Leo. You don't want to um, put everyone out of the loop, and that just could be a chance for you to make mistakes, and you don't want to be holding the bag and things going wrong during your watch. Yeah, so it's a really good thing to just settle down for the month of January. And um, I'm not saying that stop being adventurous, but just try not to do something too drastic or something too much out of the ordinary. You can always make people feel good, feel that they can depend on you, but don't do anything too, you know, weird and almost uncompromising. Yeah, so you can continue to be authoritative and warm and generous, but try not to be demanding when there's not many people around to appreciate it anyway. Okay, so the card that we are going to look at next is the. But having said that, you're the sort of person who would make changes while everybody's away, and when they come and they whoops, they have a big surprise because Leo has been hard at work changing things around, changing the furniture. Um, you know, the pot plants are in different places this time, and people have to go and move in different ways. Everything's all changed, and this is what you've been doing, and for you, like it's been happening for the last 2 weeks, and it's their fault if they can't get used to it very quickly, you know. So it's already a good idea to just yes, think that everybody's going to be grateful for all the changes and exciting changes, because you know a change is as good as a holiday. You're right about that, but it could be a drastic change for other people, and they will have to coexist with you. Now, your next card is saying, "My attention to it invites it in." Now, this is a very interesting card because every thought that you give your attention to expands and becomes a bigger part of your vibrational mix. This is an interesting statement saying that whatever you focus on, that thing actually becomes much more, much bigger in your awareness. It's almost like it's like a pregnant woman. The first time a woman becomes pregnant, you know, and then once they do, they notice, oh, there's so many pregnant women around everywhere. Or a man buys a red car, and all of a sudden there's red cars everywhere. So this is the same thing with whatever we focus on. It's actually becomes much more unnoticeable, you know. It becomes part of our matrix. It becomes part of our being. So vibrational mix is actually your level of your awareness. If you're very observant, and if you have been working very hard to evolve in a way that you become a person who's much more loving and much more observant of the way that the world works, and you see things, your vision is enhanced, so you become a better human being this way. Okay, so vibrational mix is that it could be on a different level than everybody else, and sometimes you feel different, you know, your people don't understand you, or you don't understand them because you and other people are not on the same vibrational mix. That's what it means.
Whether it is thought of something you want or a thought of something you do not want, you always put your attention. You put your attention to it, of course, you're going to invite it in. So, whatever that thing that you're thinking of is going to come to you, it's going to be invited and become part of you. It is going to be with the essence of you. And because you're aware of it, you become more sensitive to it. You look for it everywhere. All right. So, for example, um, whatever it is, topic that you and your colleagues has been discussing, all of a sudden there's cases of it everywhere, and you see it on the news, see it on TV, and it becomes almost like they're there, and you just didn't notice it was there all the time. And it's just a matter of you noticing it. So the more you notice it, the more they're everywhere. So before you notice it, before it came into your awareness, you didn't even know they were there. So can you see how that this card is actually to show you that whatever you think about at the beginning and whatever you focus on, it is going to be so much bigger. It is so much more noticeable. You notice it more. You notice everything that is happening, and you notice it, and you go into it deeper, and then you realize it's been happening. It's been happening all this time. It's happening for decades. Um, some kind of issue that is giving a lot of problems, that is affecting everyone's ability to work together. And it's a trend that you notice, and you don't notice it before. So it wasn't put into your, awareness. Um, you just don't see it. Now, just remember that whatever you wish for, whatever you say, will come. So it's constant. It's almost it's magnified. Every time we look at something, it gets magnified. It gets bigger in our heads. And for people who are susceptible, they become obsessed with it. Now, obviously, the people who are addicted to shopping, almost they could see bargains everywhere. And it seems like there's just bargains all year round. And it becomes a problem for them because it's uncontrollable. So I think it's a good time to really, um, because, the way it's happening now, Christmas is hijacked. The religious meaning of Christmas, and it's now becomes commercialized so much that it's almost like de rigueur to go shopping for things that nobody wants. That really, it's just you have to wrap it up somehow. So I really, personally not going to um, cleave to this pressure, and I really resist it. And hopefully, I usually go to charity shops and do my shopping there. At least the money that I spend will come to something, will not go to the pockets of the conglomerates and the massively, massively already wealthy billionaires. I'm not going to buy clothes that are just going to be shapeless after a couple of washes. So what I'll do is I go to charity shops that might actually be valued and actually going to make those clothing better. So I don't want to waste your time listening to me. I have to pontificate about these issues, but it is something that you might also be interested in. How people have started to realize that the way we've been living in is becoming uncontrollable. It's almost an obsession for people to spend money and to realize that they are consuming the earth and its resources. So it is something that everybody notices. And if your vibration is raised, and if you are absolutely becoming more aware, becoming more awake, you're no longer like the hordes of people that are still walking dead, still not awakened in terms of becoming a human, somebody who helps more consideration of the way we're living our lives affect the whole entire planet. So you're noticing this too, Leo. You actually realize that, hey, we can't go on living like this. And because since you've been noticing it in whatever you put your attention to, you come across it again. Yeah, so you're looking at something and all of a sudden you see it online.
and then you're thinking about something, and there you go, and you see it. Your next card is a queen. It's a lady who is nevertheless very much in charge, and you have this same energy. If you're a man, you have this sort of um, feel that you are finally coming into your own, and you are really making a lot of improvements, and even the slightest improvement is of such great value to you. So you feel that even the smallest thing that you do well, and improvement, no matter how small, is actually making you feel good in almost, you know, compound ways. It's compounded how it's improving your sense of brightness. It's improving the general measure of control that you have. You no longer felt powerless as in the last few months, in the previous months. So now you're starting to sort of like go up. You're tracking back up the emotional scale, and things seems to be getting a bit easier, and people are a little bit more tractable, because you always feel as a Leo, you're always feeling as though you're fighting everybody to do and see it your way, and it's a good thing. So in January, you see that positive improvements in how things are happening, that people can see from your point of view now. In your next card, it says, "Whatever I can imagine, the universe can deliver." This is a very positive view. This is a positive stance, Leo, because if you have the ability to imagine it, even to think about it, this universe has the ability and the resources to deliver it fully onto you. For it is like a well-stocked kitchen with every ingredient imaginable at your disposal. So yes, there is no lack. There is everything is there, is available. So if you're a Leo moon, it's actually quite doable. If you have a So Leo, your last card is, why are they not getting what they are asking for? It is also upright. So you're wondering, why is it that people are just not getting what they want? And you know this, you know why they're not receiving. And the reason for that is that these people, the persons, are holding the desire out of their alignment with their own requests. And you know that there's no shortage in the world. You know, there's money is there. It's just up to people have to go and find a way to get it. And you know how to get it. And you know, if you know how to get the money, that's the money is available. It's just that people are not doesn't know how to ask for it in the right way, or doesn't know how to access it, or doesn't know the people who have got the money, or they don't know how to get people to part with their money. So, but you don't notice you are quite good at doing that. You're a great salesperson if you're in sales. You're also a fantastic leader of a team that actually do the sales. So you know all the different techniques, except that you keep wondering, why is it they're not doing as you're doing. That's because they don't know what you know. Okay, so this card is exactly right. It is a matter of asking for that resources because it's there. You just have to go for it. You just have to ask for it. Ask for these resources. And people just haven't gotten up to the fact that you can ask for things. I mean, what's the matter with asking? If you don't ask, what's the worst thing that can happen? They say no. That's it. That's the last thing that can happen. They say no. So obviously, like you know that yes, you will just gotta ask and it will be given to you. And this card is excellent in showing us that. And I hope you enjoyed your reading, and I hope to see you next month. Thanks very much for listening, and take care.